Welcome, everyone, to the Clarkson Town Board meeting. Please stand for a pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment of silence for our servicemen and women, our first responders and veterans, and particularly those who have paid the ultimate price, as well as our healthcare workers who tirelessly work to save lives every day. Thank you. Please be seated. Okay, to start the meeting tonight, I'll ask for open forum in a moment, but we have Tammy Baker, our assessor for the town of Clarkson and the town of Sweden, and she's here to make a presentation. So,
because the last time we did it out was 2023, and the market is still going haywire, our equalization rate this past year went from 96% down to 84%. And if we don't do an update, it most likely will drop to 75%. With the equalization rate dropping, like we lost $965,000 in taxable value on special franchises. We lost $1.7 million on utilities because we didn't update the values. The lawsuits, they use that against us, and so like one in particular we all know, we lost $720,000 in taxable value because it had to get multiplied by our equalization rate. I'm looking at probably a 30 to 40% increase across the board. It's ouch, but I mean, like example of sales, Woodstock. I have $260,000 for a house that's assessed at 192.7. There's two other similar properties in Woodstock that sold for like that. Same with Gina Way, house sold for $329, assessed at 193. Two other sales in that neighborhood, or everything's selling for like that. Pesh home sales are selling between $366,000 to $500,000. Deer Track, $400,000, $525. T Rose Metal, $240,000 plus. Ridge Road, anything on Ridge is $195,000 plus. Lake Road, $240,000 plus. Bev Circle, $270,000 plus. The average assessed value in Bev Circle is $183,000. Highest selling price in the town was $605,000. Lowest was $95,000, and that was a house that needs to be rehabbed that sold for $95,000. Commercial properties, one sold for $400,000, valued at $271,000. Another one sold for $229,000, valued at $157,800. Vacant land is selling, and this is just regular, whether building lots or just extra land that they want to buy, anywhere between $6,000 and $10,000 an acre. Farmland is $4,900 plus an acre. Woods is $2,500 plus an acre. Wetlands, $1,200 an acre. And this will be the third year in a row we've had double-digit trends. So it's like 10, 20, 10 probably this year, 10 last year, and 10 year before. That's what I'm saying, an average of $30 million. Had we done an update this past year, the school tax rate would have been $16 per thousand versus the $19,000 per thousand. And the star exemption would have been like for the basic would have been like $34,000 exemption versus the $28,000. Because everything gets multiplied by our equalization rate. So like this year, because we took such a hit, everybody's exemption levels are gonna go down. So their veterans exemption, their fire district, the exemption they get for being a fireman, everything gets multiplied for that. So when the town taxes come out, they're all gonna notice that their exemption levels
And they have
are less than what they had in the past.
beyond noticeable. Every one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Conversations are had with all of them.
So, I mean, if you want to go forward with an update, there needs to be a resolution, and I have to hold a public informational meeting because we're below 85%. Mm-hmm. So we have to have an informational meeting just to explain it to the public of why we're doing a reval to go back to 100%. Any questions from the board?
So the last one we did was in 2023.
Yep. And sales from July of 2023 to July of 2025, that's how much the sales have increased since
So
then.
we were at, what was our rate in 23?
We went to 100%. So before the rate, we were at
100%.
85%,
Okay.
and then went to 100%. Last year, we dropped to 96%. This year, we dropped to 84%. If we don't do anything, most likely we'll drop to about 75%. I'm looking at probably, when I ran numbers, probably about $140 million increase across the board.
The kicker with the drop in the, as I understand from Tammy, is that she doesn't have any control over whether Monroe County or the state, I don't know which, makes it drop. We were at 100%, we should have stayed at 100%, but she's told to make Clarkson 96 in 2025. She is told to make Clarkson 84% in 2024, and 84% in 2025. She has no choice.
And does that come from the county or the state?
It comes from the state.
The state, okay.
How do they come up with that?
So what they do is they run an analysis on our sales. I only have probably around 100 sales in the town of Clarkson. So we have an aggregate market. So the aggregate market for Clarkson is gonna be Sweden, Clarkson, Hamlin, and Parma. So they take all the sales in those municipalities to come up with what our computer assisted mass appraisal numbers would be and what our sales ratio numbers would be. And they come up with these numbers, and that's where they come up with a 10% trend. And they take it based on like last year's assessed value and take that across the board, and that's where it says that, okay, this is where your numbers need to be. So like if I had updated the assessments this past year, you would have seen at least 100, anywhere between 89 million to $110 million increase. Well, that's gonna increase even more because our equalization rate dropped even more. And I argued with the state on some of my sales. They actually sent 17 sales back to me, asking me why I invalidated them. Like the one that for $605,000, that's not my market. I don't have any other houses that sold for that. But the state questions why I invalidate some of these sales and thinks that those should be valid sales. Well, this is not my market in this town. I mean, there's some I keep, some I get rid of, but they're legitimate. Ones I like. One of them, like I know it was an estate. They're not supposed to keep an estate sale. Another one, there was just a unique information on that property that I'm like, I don't want the state to keep this as a valid sale. Anything that we keep it as a valid sale, that goes against our numbers and my overall ratios.
Okay. Thank you.
It's not an easy explanation. To try to explain the equalization rate and sales ratio and the camera ratio, it's kind of hard to explain it to everybody, but these are the numbers that I get from the state of New York, and it's just not getting any prettier.
So when, in order for us to do this, when would we have to have the resolution? When would, I mean, you were talking in 2026, so what is your calendar like in 2026 when this needs to happen?
If we go through with this, the notices have to, by law, go out by March 1st because we're below the 85%. And it'll be an impact notice that has to go out to them. So on the impact notice, it'll actually show you, tell them what their taxes will be based on an assessed value. And that's a hypothetical question, hypothetical, because we don't know what next year's tax rate can possibly be. They'll base it on this year's budget with the new numbers that I generate with all the new assessed values.
So when would we need the resolution and the public hearing? All of that would have to happen in January and February?
Preferably before that, because I gotta get all my work done and the notices go out the 1st of March.
Okay, so you tell me what the time frame, what a good time frame would would be?
Something in November and December.
Oh,
So that
okay.
way we get the ball rolling on it.
Okay,
I've run a lot of the numbers already, just to be on the safe side and ran my ratios, but I'll get my trend numbers from the state sometime this month. I don't know when and what they'll be, but they did explain there'll probably be another double digits. I don't get my numbers from the state until the end of January telling me where I have to be. So they'll send me new numbers at the end of January based on this year's rolls and whatever they trended them to, and tell me like, okay, your values need to be, you need to raise your residential values probably by like $140 million. Commercial values could be 15 million, utilities could be another 8 million, vacant land another 5 million. But I don't get that until the very end of January.
And then you get to plug in all those ratios, right? Okay.
So theoretically, the tax rate should go down though then?
Yes.
The tax rate will go
Yes.
down. Yeah. And again, it doesn't, the pie is the pie, right? It's just how it's split up. So it's, that's the toughest probably thing to explain to people when it
It's,
goes up.
the school tax rate's the highest one.
Mm.
I mean, and that's what everybody's biggest complaint is. And then, okay, you raised it, so if we do raise it, then their star exemption will go back up to where it was at in 2023. If we don't raise it, their star exemption's gonna drop even more, and the school tax rate's gonna go even higher probably. Because with us being at 84%, it's they equalize that out when they're doing their budget, so it actually takes the money up, so it makes it higher for the Clarkson taxpayers than what other towns that are 100% average.
We'll pay more of it.
Like Sweden's at 1609, Clarkson was at 1904.
Well, she's at 100. What makes a town not do that, not go through with a reassessment? A town reassessment, what makes them say, we're not doing it?
For instance, I know like Webster is like notorious, like they hadn't reassessed
Yeah,
for a long.
why would they do that?
Henrietta chooses not to as well.
I wouldn't
Henrietta
think
went to
that-
a full value this year.
Did they go this
They,
year?
they did recently, yeah, I saw that they finally.
Just.
they've done it.
Yes, they're going to a full value.
It's,
Some is, it's
A lot of work.
political.
no, it's
Oh.
not that. It's
It's an election year. you know,
Okay,
Some doesn't
okay.
want their assessments changed.
Okay.
Pittsburgh,
But
they
it
just don't
hurts the
want to see it. They
residents
haven't
when
done
they don't
anything
do it.
since
Right.
2018. Pittsburgh was an annual reassessment town.
Yeah,
And then when COVID hit, their town board said, no, we don't want to do an update. So it's just, in downstate, their equalization rate's like 1% because they don't want those assessments to go to $4 million. They'd rather be paying on $450,000. But when you look at their tax rate,
their multipliers through the
they're
roof.
like $300 per thousand for school tax rate when their assessments are that low.
It's actually like, when you look at the school, like, I did this exercise with my friend, like, he lives in, Leroy, they hadn't assessed, but Stafford has. So I showed him 2 houses in the Genesee County Tax Portal. I go, they reassessed this year. You haven't reassessed in 5. The houses are the same value, like 150 and 150 assessed value, right? But they had reassessed. He's paying more school taxes because his multiplier is higher. So in that way, being a municipality within, whether it's us, it's almost like, in a weird way, you're almost saying to the townships within these school district localities, you need to keep reassessing, because if you're going to be that town that sits out, your multiplier is going up.
Yeah.
So it's almost like sending a message saying, like, if you're going to be the town that's not going to reassess, your multiplier goes up. Your home values stay low, but the multiplier increases. So like, you're just hiding the way you're paying taxes. If they're not going to get you on, if you're talking to somebody who's skeptical of taxes, they're not going to get you on the home assessed value per se, but your multiplier is going to get it up. So we're going to keep it fair that way. So they're going to get their money no matter what. It's just your choice if you want to reassess and spread that out, or it's your choice if you want it to go to your multiplier. That's the way I've kind of explained it.
You really want it to be accurate. That's
what I mean.
Right? I mean, that's,
well,
that's,
yeah,
that's the
100%
thing.
is
Fair
where,
to the
Because
residents.
I don't-
absolutely.
I just don't think the multipliers are fair anyway, because,
No.
So if you keep it as current as you can, right, that's gonna be fair for everybody. That's.
Like the new houses, the new construction this year that I put on the roll, I have to equalize it out and put them back to where everybody's at in 2023.
Really.
Even though they might have, that new construction, they paid like $389,000, I have to put a value on it of what it would be in 2023 instead of what it is now, because I have to equalize it out back to that number.
Do you recommend doing it yearly if the trend of these
We were gonna,
values?
I talked to Ursula about it, because we were gonna update this past year. But when the state of New York come back in and told me that they weren't gonna give Sweden 100%, after doing an update in 1 year, they were gonna drop it 5%. You're hitting the taxpayers every year, and they're not actually seeing a
Seeing the
savings.
value.
They're not seeing savings now, because the tax rates are not dropping to what the values are going up to. This way, we have waited a couple years. Some towns do it annually, some towns, like Livingston County does it every 4 years. Riga does it every 3 years, so it's just whatever taxing cycle you wanna go on to, if you wanna go that route instead of doing it annually. If we didn't have double-digit trends, you could do it annually, but with a double-digit trend, you know you're hitting the taxpayers, like Sweden, last year it hit them 22%, this year another 10%. And it was a big ouch, because there's not a single one of them, at least on school taxes, paid anything, they paid actually more.
Mhm. So 2 to 3 years might be a better cycle than 1 year.
I think we talked about this last year, didn't we? We talked
did.
about, and did we think that, we thought at that time that it was gonna be a 4-year, right?
Five,
We
three
didn't
to
think
five.
the trend was gonna keep going like this
Right,
either.
we talked about doing,
Makes sense.
right, and suddenly, well, sure, and it changes, so that's why it's a Tammy's recommendation that we do it next year for sure, so make it a 2-year trend if nothing else.
Right.
The 4-year was because the lawsuit.
Oh, okay,
Because if we pushed it out another year, the lawsuit would be where they wanted, but that value's gonna drop even more, because I'm not to change that, because they're gonna argue that that assessment has to be multiplied by the equalization rate.
Why, I'm just curious why New York State encourages you to go a certain direction, but downstate they're not doing a thing with? They're letting that slide, but everybody else has to make up for it?
Update, some places don't, it just depends on what each
They don't put
municipality
the
wants to do.
thumb on them though, like they're doing for up here.
yeah,
It's
There's no-
interesting.
There's no thumb on it, I mean.
Yeah, it's just if you wanna be,
Wouldn't the
Right.
thumb be the multiplier
Right.
going through the roof?
Right.
'Cause they're getting their money. It's just coming out of
I mean,
A or B.
and it's the recommendation of our assessor,
right, you're not telling you
Right?
have to.
Because of what you're
no,
being
she's, right, what the
advised
way,
though.
Well,
well,
And when she
yes.
tries to show something, they kick back at you and say, you really need to leave it at this, or you need to do this. So you're doing what they're advising you to do.
right,
It's definitely different. Got it.
And what we talked about doing every other year, like Sweden would do 1 year, then we would do ours.
and that's what the whole
Right.
goal was, but I had to update Sweden again this year at 10%, because they did not wanna take a 95% equalization rate, so I ended up upping everybody another 10%. You take a look at, like, I think Gates's was every 3 years, so I think Gates went up 70%, and Riga went up 80%, because she does it every 3 years. And that's just because this market has changed that much since COVID. Prior to COVID, it was like a 2%, 3% trend. You could easily keep up with something like that, but you can't keep up with it now. I mean, people are just paying,
Yep.
Crazy money.
I
Yeah.
believe it's still continuing.
Okay,
Tammy?
yeah, we'll, look towards November, put a resolution together to do an update, okay? Schedule it for probably the end of November, maybe. That resolution, is that all right?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine.
If there's anything you want to provide to us or that we need to have in order for the resolution to be prepared, just send it over and take it from there. Appreciate your advice and your knowledge in this, for sure. So, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Is there anyone else for open forum? Either of you? Okay. Then we'll move on. All right, first resolution is to authorize payment number 12 to Pylon Construction Company of $421,280.16 for the Town of Clarkson Water Improvement Benefit Area Number 1. We read this every month. I'm gonna skip down to the Pylon has requested a progress payment in said amount, and MRB Group, the town's engineer for this project, has reviewed the request and recommended payment. And Richard Olson, the town's attorney for this project, has reviewed the request with respect to the legal requirements and has found no impediments to payment. And whereas after reviewing the request and the engineer's recommendation, this board has determined that the request by Pylon for progress payment in said amount should be approved. And the town board authorizes these advances to WIBA number 1 until grant funds are received. And the town board has determined that WIBA number 1 shall be charged interest on the advances at the same rate as the town receives from New York Class. Be it therefore now be it resolved that the town board authorizes the payment of $421,280.16 to Pylon Construction Inc. Be it further resolved that any funds advanced to WIBA number 1 from the town, which are required to be paid from the general fund, shall bear interest at the rate the town receives on New York Class deposits and are to be an expense of WIBA in connection with this project. And be it further resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately.
I'll make the motion to approve the 12th payment to Pylon Construction.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Number 2 is resolution setting the rate of interest for WIBA number 1 payments made during unavailability of the USDA grant funds, Town of Clarkson Water Improvement Benefit Area number 1. Whereas the Town of Clarkson is in the process of completing the construction of the Town of Clarkson Water Improvement Benefit Area number 1, whereas the funds for the construction are being provided by a bond in the amount of $4,700,000 and a grant from the USDA Rural Development in the amount of $2,955,000. The town has fully expended the proceeds from the $4,700,000 bond and will now use the USDA grant money to pay the remainder of the funds for the project. And whereas due to the federal government shutdown, the town has been informed that the USDA grant payments will likely be delayed. And whereas the town is contractually obligated to pay Pylon Construction, MRB Group, Richard J. Olson, Esk, and others for the materials and services provided in connection with the completion of WIBA number 1. And whereas the town board authorizes these advances for WIBA number 1 until grant funds are received. And whereas the town board has determined the WIBA number 1 shall be charged interest on the advances at the same rate as the town receives from New York Class. Now therefore be it resolved that any funds advanced for WIBA number 1 from the town, which are required pursuant to contract, are to be paid from the general fund and shall bear interest at the rate the town receives on New York Class deposits and shall be considered an expense of WIBA number 1 in connection with this project. And be it further resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Number 3 is motion to accept the 2026 tentative budget. We have all received it. So at this point, we just need to accept the tentative budget.
I'll make a motion to accept the 2026 tentative budget.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Resolution number 4, schedule a public hearing for proposed local law, introductory local law 7 of 2025, a local law to provide an override of the real property tax levy limit for fiscal year 2026. Whereas the town board has before it proposed introductory local law number 7 of 2025, which would authorize an override of the real property tax levy limit found in the New York State General Municipal Law, Section 3-C5 for the year 2026. And whereas in order to adopt said local law, the town board of the town of Clarkson is required to hold and conduct a public hearing thereon. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Clarkson shall hold and conduct a public hearing on the 28th day of October 2025 at 6 p.m. at the Town Hall, 3710 Lake Road, Town of Clarkson, New York, to consider the changes which are contained in the local law, at which public hearing all interested persons will be heard concerning the subject matter thereof. That the town clerk shall cause due notice of such public hearing to be published as required by law.
Motion that we schedule a public hearing for the proposed local law.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Number 5, merit increase for highway working foreman Jesse Cross. Motion to approve employee merit increase for highway employee Jesse Cross from working foreman step 19 at $34.10 per hour to working foreman step 20 at $34.61 per hour, effective January, September 25th, 2025.
I'll make the motion to approve the merit increase for highway working foreman Jesse Cross.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. You're welcome. Number 6, approve the emergency enclosure of an unsafe building. Whereas there was a fire at the property known as 4214 Redmond Road in the town of Clarkson, and the deputy building inspector, code enforcement officer, fire marshal reported that the fire created dangerous conditions on the property which require immediate action to address. And whereas the deputy building inspector, code enforcement officer, fire marshal has petitioned to the town board on an emergency basis to retain a contractor to board up and otherwise secure the property at 4214 Redmond Road. Now therefore be resolved that the town board finds that an emergency exists, and it approves and authorizes the deputy building inspector to immediately cause repairs to the unsafe buildings at 4214 Redmond Road by retaining the services of Emergency Enclosures, Inc. to enclose the windows, doors, and other relevant openings of said unsafe building in order to secure the premises. And that the expenses of such repairs shall be a charge against the land on which it is located and shall be assessed, levied, and collected as provided in Town Code Section 4812. That this resolution shall take effect immediately.
I'll make the motion.
Second it?
All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. O'Toole, I understand that there is an insurance company involved in this, so will they be picking up that expense?
Possibly,
Okay,
but I haven't received any notice to that effect.
okay, I believe, Chad Fabry's been in contact with the owner and maybe with the insurance company as well. But, Tammy, as far as adding it to the property, when do you need to have those bills? Like right now? Yeah, okay,
And I'm not even sure if the county will let me add them now.
okay. What was your deadline?
I don't know. They haven't gave me the solid drop deadline, so I'll have to call the county to find out when we can still add chargebacks.
Can you give us to the end of the week?
Yeah, I'll call
Ask for
tomorrow.
Friday?
I'll call
I've
tomorrow
already,
and find out.
I've already asked our building department to contact the company to get those bills.
Mhm.
I mean, one enclosure, after this resolution, they'll be directed to close it up tomorrow. So we should get a bill. I mean, they should be able to give us a dollar figure, right? If not the physical bill. And then the one from 10 days ago when the fire happened or so, we should have that one. Or be able to get it from them, I would think. So if we can get that as soon as possible, right? Sound fair?
Does to me.
Okay. All right, I'll do my best. If not, it'll have to wait.
Till next year.
Yeah. Which, all right,
The
okay.
town and county.
It's
Yeah,
probably bank coded anyhow, so the bank will probably pay the taxes on it without me looking at it. So if you put it on there, I'd have to look to see if it's bank coded or not. Cause they just
I'll
purchased
look.
it like a year ago.
oh, they did?
I'll
Yeah.
look,
Well, how would they pay those fees though?
because they gotta pay what's on it. If it, although
long
it's
as it's
already
charged
out
to
though,
it.
right, it's already out.
But it needs to be
they haven't
charged to
made
it. It needs to
Yeah.
be charged to the,
Yeah, I don't know.
okay, let me
It-
see if I can get the bills and
Okay.
then we'll figure it out from there. Okay. All right, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Did I already say that? Sorry, it was a double. Excuse me, acknowledge receipt of supervisor's September financial report. We've all had a chance to look at it. Are we good? Okay, Tom has the motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Okay, for my report, On September 19th, we received an email stating that the New York State DOT Region 4 is replacing and rehabilitating various culverts within its 7 counties under this program called CROSS, the Culvert Resiliency on State Systems Program. This program consists of 10 projects and 69 culverts, with anticipated construction to occur from 2026 through the end of 2030. This letter that we got has three such culverts in our town. One is on 19, south of Lawton. One is that the one? It is. Okay, that's the one. Okay, it's time. Okay. The next one is on 272 County Line Road. And the third one is 104 between Land Pro and Maple Ridge. In that area, right, okay. So,
Garland.
pardon me?
I think Garland.
Ahead of that, yes. Oh, right, okay. When I was looking at the map, I should have asked you. All right, the first one to happen, though, it appears, according to their construction year, is 25 to 26. So I think that one is going to go first, 272 County Line Road. And that's going to be out for 4 weeks. Or the detours will be 4 weeks. The second one, detour between the one up on Ridge, is in about 20 days, and that's going to happen in 2026 to 2027. And we still have to wait for Lake Road. It's between 2027 and 2029. I know. And the detour is going to be for 6 to 10 weeks.
Why does that take so long?
I don't know.
Because it's so important.
And it's on a main, well, so
And it's
the
on a
other
main
ones.
road. It'll slow the
104 is
traffic
too,
down.
but-
On the west side.
Speed limit will have to come down to 40.
On 272 though, that is so narrow, it's got a yield sign. It's
Jeez.
one-way traffic.
Right now it is one way?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it is because of that?
You can't fit 2 cars,
Oh,
12
man.
years, it's not one way.
Pardon?
It's just.
It's just
12
one and a
years.
half.
12 years.
It's one at a time.
Correct, yes.
12 years into it.
That one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I should take a drive.
yes. You should.
6 years going the right way.
Okay, all right.
Sure, you're
So, good news, kind of. Okay, on September 26th, the Erie Canal event happened. The event awaiting the arrival of the Seneca chief was held. It was a good time with great music and good food. Assemblyman Steve Hawley presented us with a New York State Assembly citation to commemorate the event. Here it is. Isn't that special? It is. It's actually very nice. I'd read it out loud, but I won't. You're welcome,
Thank you.
Sharon. Yes. I'll leave it on the counter. Maybe we'll frame it. I don't know. But it's very nice.
Yes, we'll frame it.
Okay. Thanks to Leanna Hale, the town historian, Nick DeMuro, and the Historic Commission for organizing the afternoon. We still have T-shirts available at the town hall for $5 each. They're very nice T-shirts.
I want to.
Want to hold one up? Oh,
The last one.
look at that.
Very nice.
They are really very nice.
I
It would-
just folding, sorry, Sue.
It was a nice
Got
afternoon.
them all nice.
Okay, on September 30th and October
Just
14th,
like to watch my husband. do
WIBA
this.
update meetings were held. Letters were recently mailed to residents in the water district who had not yet signed up for an account with the Monroe County Water Authority, whether they wish to connect for service at this time or not. The cost savings to sign up now is significant, and many residents have done so. So
14.
I'm glad we sent them out.
14 remain, that's
Okay,
it.
14, I think we sent over 50 letters to those on different, right?
Yeah, 56 or 7 is
56,
in my
and,
mind, yeah. So we're a lot, they've been moving along.
yeah, so there's 14
Yep.
left to go. Hopefully that will take care of itself. As of today's meeting, the project is 88% complete. So we're close, I know, I'm happy. Whenever we have these meetings, they say, are there any complaints? Any resident complaints, and we shake our heads, and there aren't any.
There's
No.
people that waited so long for that.
They have waited, and
They're
it's
just,
imminent, so, yeah, okay. On October 1st, my assistant Tammy and I had a meeting with Hurricane, our IT company, for a status report of the town's computer equipment in each building, each department. They have a 5-year plan that is proactive, and we can expect to make some upgrades in 2026. And that amount of upgrades, there's actually a dollar figure for all of those upgrades in each year, and that's been added to our budget, the proposed budget for 2026. October 7th, a pre-development meeting was held for a gas station convenience store in place of Sales College Service on the corner. Plan submission to the Historical Commission and the Planning Board is expected at some time. Did you already? You didn't already get submission from that?
No,
Okay.
no, we wouldn't have got.
It was too soon. It was last
Yeah,
week, yeah.
no.
Okay. On October 8th, the,
Reviewed it. That's-
oh, you talked about
We
it?
took a look at it.
Oh, you did? Okay.
We haven't done any work on it.
But they haven't really submitted yet? No, okay. On October 8th, the representative from the New York State Deferred Compensation Plan or Program came in at 7:30 in the morning, and all of our employees were here, and they presented to the employees the benefits of participating in that program. On October 10th, we're continuing to search for funding for the Hafner Park Improvements Project, and with MRB's help, I recently sent letters to Assemblyman Hawley, Senator Ort, and Congressman Morelli. So we hope to get a response from someone, hopefully, with some money. They have ability to access other types of grants that we may not know about. So that's why I reached out to them. In mid-September, MRB advised that they submitted the East Avenue sidewalk plans to the Monroe County Department of Transportation. They've received the DOT's response, and they were working to address their comments. And the town clerk's office submitted its report of revenue activity for July to the town, or July through September to the town board, as well as the status report for the school collection to date. That's what I have. Anyone from the town board? Anything?
Thanks for everybody for the canal event. Came out and helped. It was a fun day. Kind of Historic Commission's first event. They came through kind of on time.
Actually, 3:05 wasn't
It
bad.
wasn't bad. We could.
Yeah.
Their tracker stopped for a while, and we were kind of like, "Oh, they've been stuck in the same spot," so we didn't know.
Yeah.
Came through.
Hit it right aground.
It's nice. Yeah.
I watched them leave the next morning. It was really
Oh,
good.
did you?
Yeah, that boat's something.
Yeah.
It is very cool.
Did you get to go on it? Did you go on it? Did anyone here
I
go
didn't-
on
I've
the
been
boat
on
itself?
Before, but not this time.
Oh, okay. Anything from the library, perhaps?
So set.
Tomorrow night is the meeting, so I'll have more
Oh,
info on the
okay.
next update. But they're expecting the pavilion in on the 16th. And thanks Bob and
Okay.
Mike and crew. They cleared
Oh, Friday.
the land. It's on the east side of the library next to the children's wing. So they did a great job. I swung up there. So it's all set to go. They're planning on dropping that on Thursday.
Good.
Okay.
Yes, please.
They had a very good event, the library did on October 4th. And there was quite a few kids out there for that start.
Yeah.
Did you go to that?
I did not.
Yeah. Well, it was really good. They did a very good job.
Even between the two. Yeah, I was unable to. I had a family function. I couldn't make it. I was wondering, but it got done.
Really made it work. They did a good job.
Was it well attended?
The Star event, he said there was 140.
Wow.
Yeah. The library event, there was maybe 85.
Okay. Very nice. Martha, did you go too? No, didn't get. Yeah, I had a family commitment that night. Okay. Town clerk.
The only thing is taxes have been moving along and we've collected about 85%. So we're waiting on about 855,000 at this time, which is pretty good, real good. And that's it.
Thank you. I don't have a report from the building inspector. I need to work on that for next time. Attorney O'Toole?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay, Highway Superintendent?
Yeah. Our, as far as county work, our East Ridge Road project is 100% complete. We're done. We're out of there, so it's been about a couple months. We are in talks with the county right now for one last milling and paving project. I think we can fit it in. Yeah. It's on the east side of the city too, but it's a small one. As far as our town roads, we just got a bunch of spot patching we'll be doing through some of the subdivisions for this year, for some pothole patches. So, our new salt tent, the bunker walls are up out back. We did take down, if you didn't notice, the big yellow structure's not there anymore. So the hoops are down, basically the trusses, and they're gonna go on those new walls. They're down. Today, the whole the tent came that the truck ran into, so that's here, came today.
Oh, good.
With all the brackets to start
Oh.
that, so it'll probably take us a couple weeks to get it up and get it down, so we're gonna get it back there, so. That's that. As far as our parks, the playground came today.
Oh, that too?
San Souci Park, yeah, it was a busy day out there. So that's gotta be in by April, I believe, right?
Yes.
So we'll start.
Is that for the canal?
Yes.
That's for the canal park, yeah.
Yes.
So we'll start unpackaging that and make a few dry runs in the shop and see how we can do with that.
Yay.
All the the third
And
thing,
it
that came in last week, but the last part of it came today, so.
Oh, that came today?
The disc golf?
Yeah.
Well, the most of it came 2 weeks ago, but there was a couple boxes that came today. I believe he's coming, what, November 3rd?
November, oh, I have to,
Third is the
yeah.
kickoff, I think.
Third, I think, yeah.
Yeah, we're supposed to have a kickoff meeting with Emilio Moran from MRB.
So, but all that
Is
stuff's
it?
here in Cincinnati. So,
Wanna
yeah,
come?
a lot of things going on.
11,
All the equipment's in though, is what you said?
Yeah.
All of it is in, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
November 3rd.
now we all know that Nick's birthday is November 3rd.
Right.
The
25 again.
The 2020 election, I met Ursula for the first time and worked the 2020 election on my birthday.
Yeah, came in and says, so what are you doing, Nick?
Yep.
Want to run for town board? I need your letter tomorrow.
Yep.
Almost done.
Oh, sorry, that wasn't done.
Almost. No, just a couple things. Brush pickup starts Monday the 20th, and leaves. And junk days is a Friday and Saturday. Just after that was the 24th and 25th. And the new roll-off had its first work last week, so good.
Did
It's a nice piece of equipment.
Did
We
they
need it.
argue over who was going to drive it?
Right.
Never
No, not
mind.
yet.
Not yet,
So,
okay.
but yeah, well, it's a nice piece of equipment. We definitely
I'm
need
glad.
it, so hopefully the grant comes through for it.
If not, it's $56,000 a year for the next 5 years.
Yeah, it's costing me business.
But we have applied for a grant, it's just that we won't, this is for the federal grant for the transfer station. Big plans for upgrades at the transfer station, but part of that grant was for the truck. Yeah, the new roller truck, but ours just couldn't wait. And we had one sitting, waiting for us, and if we gave it away, we wouldn't get a new one for another 2 years. So we had to take it now, which is why, but we don't have to pay for it until next year in 2026. But-
September, right?
yeah, but we have it. And hopefully if we do get the grant, it's a federal grant and, it's gonna, grants are 50-50, right? We won't know until December if we get the grant or not. So we'll see what it takes for us to be able to get that money back for the truck out of that grant. I'm not sure how it's gonna work, but MRB's on it. They understand the predicament. It's just we couldn't let this truck go since it was here.
What do you call this truck again?
It's a roll-off truck, a roll-off where they haul, you explain it, how it works.
It's a big open, a dumpster truck basically. They can drop the dumpsters in your yard. A lot of people see them drop, but we have one at the transfer station. We have basically 2 compactors they can put on there. It takes it to the stations out in the city, all the refuse. And
You actually have 4 rollers, 3 rollers there, right?
we have 2 compactor ones and
2 just rollers.
3 open top dumpsters that go on there, which we use them for brush pickup also, which you
Yeah.
can fit a lot of brush in those.
Sure can.
So,
Yeah, we needed
So
something.
there's still only gonna be 2 compactors.
yeah, at this point. But you can usually keep up with that if they stay healthy, the compactors. But that's all part of the grant too, some of the improvements on that.
Replace those.
It'll
The
be,
one is, the south side one is newer. It's probably 7 or 8 years old. The one on the north side is probably 16, 17 years old now, so you know, obviously don't use that one as much. But
I think this grant was for 900,000?
just under 880,000, yeah.
Right, including the new truck, but that's the dollar amount of those upgrades for the transfer station. It'll be really spiffy if it comes through, Dave. Top notch.
Top notch.
Yeah, so, okay, thank
Anyways,
you.
that's it.
Very nice, thank you. Okay, the minutes from September 23rd.
Motion that we approve minutes from September 23rd.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. And the audit of $543,699.34. This includes the payment to Pylon of the 421,280.16.
I'll make a motion to pay the bills.
Second that?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. We did have a budget discussion that we were going to do it was on the original agenda, I thought, and it's not here on the agenda right now, so, before the meeting is over, I think we'll go into that mode, right? That's what we originally planned. For some reason, it just didn't make it onto this agenda. I thought it was on our draft, but it's not on this one, so my apologies for that. If you wish to stay for our further discussion, you're welcome to. If not, we will adjourn the meeting after we're done with our discussion. So, does yours have it? No, no. We've gone over this budget ad nauseum, and thank you again, Tammy. And as you saw earlier in the meeting, that we have a public hearing in a couple of weeks to go over the text.
I
What do you
a
need?
Copy of what you read, please.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Do you want to keep recording?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
We're good. We haven't adjourned the
I'm
meeting
sorry.
yet. I need my train of thought. Oh, the public hearing to allow us to go over the tax cap. We actually had this proposed last year as well, and we pulled it from the agenda on the night that we were going to do it because we knew that our budget was under the tax cap. So we did not enact that local law. This is something that needs to be done every year. You have to do it every year in anticipation of maybe you will, maybe you won't. As of right now, we are over budget. There's a lot of factors behind that. In talking with the highways, the Monroe County other supervisors in other towns, the last luncheon I went to, there were probably, 11 other towns represented. I asked for a show of hands, and there were at least five or six that were over budget. I know last time I talked to Sweden, they were over budget, and I believe their public hearing for this same type of law is tonight. Ogden, they've tried as best they can. They've just thrown up their hands and they're over budget. It's that kind of year. Part of this is the three major things is the water line. Believe it or not, that's an expense that we've had to pay out as an expense, so it's part of the 2025. Our 2025 budget did not have the money to pay off this $160,000 interest payment that I just paid on the ban that we had to pay off a couple weeks ago. So that's an expense. The lining of the sewers in Sherwood and Valley View, that's a little over $100,000. That was not something that we anticipated for the 2025 budget. We've kicked that, not kicked it, but it's been applied to the residents for payment. Yes, correct, and it will go on to, I'm sorry. I know, but it is specific to those residents in that neighborhood, and I hope that letter explained that sufficiently.
But it also impacts the tax cap as well, so that's included in the tax cap, so it wasn't unplanned
Right,
on top of that, so that's that, and
Right.
the water district was what,
Increase in the lighting
230?
districts too.
it was 160 that I just paid out, I don't remember,
Yeah, we're not even able to collect on the water district yet.
right, and the water
Yeah,
dis-
it counts against our tax cap, just so
Exactly.
people know that.
Right, so, and then the lighting districts all over, you know, I'm in a lighting district, but the electricity has gone up so much in years past, but it should have been increased, the increase should have been applied, allocated to the residents in those lighting districts over the years, and it never has been. So we're about 20,000, 22, 23, something, $1,000 over that we have paid, that the town's paid. And so now we're fixing that, right? We're going to be, in this next tax season, or in Monroe County's, bill, the, amount of lighting will be increased. So we're looking at the different special districts and seeing where we have negative balances, and we're assuming the expense of other residents, and we need to correct that. Correcting that is part of this problem of having our budget being over for next year. So that's why we need to have this local law in place. There is another way that we can make it so that we don't go over budget, but I don't, in talking with our accountant, it's not fair to all of the residents that we take money out of reserve to pay it off, to keep the tax rate under, am I saying this right?
Yeah, the cap.
Yeah, the idea is that the reserve, and somebody stop me if I'm wrong, the reserve is hypothetically everybody's money in that pot from the whole town. The idea of it being unfair would be that we take this money that everybody's contributed to close the gap of this smaller portion of residents. And that's the idea of, or do we have the smaller portion of residents if we just have these smaller portions of residents pay more, that will take us over the cap, bless you, would take us over the cap, but be more hypothetically fair to have them bear the brunt of that, not the whole residents, and this would still put us over the cap, hypothetically also only raising taxes on these folks in that cap, in theory, is the way that Laura explained it, that I think I've got it right.
So I sent an email to I knew we were going to be calling for the public hearing tonight, and I know that that's going to raise a lot of an alarm for a lot of residents who might be hearing this, and I get it, I understand it, I don't like it, none of us like it. But we're in a situation that I don't know how else to do it.
The water district and the sewer makes it really unique.
Right.
If it was just the lighting, I feel like this would feel different, that's my opinion.
And I think, because the sewer district those residents, it's an add-on for the next 2 years, so then that'll be done. The water district, it's a tag-on to
38 years. 38 years.
38
Yeah,
years.
it's a long one.
Yeah, there's a bond. It's for 38 years. It's going to be $600 some odd onto their tax bills, but they knew this. I mean, this doesn't come as a surprise.
They voted for it, yeah.
They voted for it. They knew this at the onset. And the more people who build homes on some of those streets now, because there is water, every time someone new adds on or another home is built, water's there, and that will lower the amount that, gets shared. It's a shared service. So, but for right now, that's just, the expense of it is putting us over the cap.
Those special districts drag up the whole levy.
Yeah, which, again, if we didn't have those, we wouldn't be over.
No.
And so that to me is just, part of the reason why you're gonna have to go over, I think. I don't think it's fair to take it out of the general fund that everyone's paying into, because it's specific for that. And again, it's only because, it's to be transparent, it's not money that's owed by the general folks. So, so it throws us over the tax cap, but it's gonna end up being paid by those residents that get the benefit from it. So that's the reason why we're over it. It's kind of silly that you have to put it into the general, like the tax cap calculation, but that's the way to do it. You can put whatever money you're paying out is in there, even though it's for that special district, one-time cost. And if we didn't have that, it would not be over. So,
Lighting district.
Right, and New York State is unique in the fact that that's how they make municipalities do that. They throw in everything into the special districts you think should be over here, but they're not. They're all part of the whole.
So do I have to pay this bill or not?
Which bill?
The sewer bill?
Oh,
Yes.
well, yeah. Yes.
That's a
But
2-year
it's-
thing.
You're gonna tax it
Theirs.
too? I don't understand why it's part of a discussion right now.
Well, that's not. We're just trying to explain the big picture of why those are things that have caused us, those are expenses that we had to pay out of 2025, right?
Already paid.
Yes, already paid. That's
Gotcha.
all. That's
You're
all.
repaying.
Yes, and you're,
Thank you.
yes, exactly, yes, 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 yes. Yeah, not, so we're just letting you know that, we're trying hard, and I wasn't really sure where this budget discussion was going to go, but I know that a couple of us are gonna be, one or two of us are gonna be away, and we have this real tight time frame from New York State to meet on getting this done. So we needed to accept the budget, the tentative budget tonight. The public hearing is in 2 weeks, and we have time to still work on it and get some better answers from Laura Landers, who's our new accountant. Look for a sheet, Sarah. You don't mean to be throwing these papers around, but looking for something in particular, and I can't find it.
You just had it.
No, this.
Yep, you just had it.
This is like my Bible from the New York State Association of Towns. Okay, so we received the tentative budget. The board reviews the tentative budget and may revise it by majority vote. And the board may continue its review over multiple meetings so long as the statutory deadlines are met. Once finalized by the board, the revised tentative budget becomes the preliminary budget. And the preliminary budget must be filed with the clerk and made available to the public. No further changes can be made until after the public hearing. So we have a public hearing on the 28th. And at some point, we have to deem that the tentative is the preliminary. I would prefer to wait to hear back from Laura for my questions from earlier today. And then once we get those, once we're clear on it, and maybe something can change, then we'll turn it into the preliminary. We'll wait for the public hearing. And then it'll be made available to the public like we always have. And at the public hearing, a public hearing will be to accept the preliminary budget. It must be held, it's scheduled for the 28th.
So is that the same for public hearing to discuss the tax cap and, so it's a combined public hearing then,
There's 3 of them.
right? Because there's a.
Well, it's a local law. This is not a, this is a,
Tax, it's a real.
yes, but there will be a separate, the budget is separate from the tax
Okay, that's what I just
than the
wanted to-
law. Yes. So didn't we already do this? Didn't we do this last meeting? Did we set the public hearing for October 28th?
It's an annual tradition. You've got the Association of Towns article in front of you.
I do.
And they print it every year and
They do.
for just this reason.
Right.
No, it will be done tomorrow.
But we don't have to announce that it's, wait.
Because right
All right,
here.
I'm missing
There's a
something.
Is they're
paper trail, right?
introducing,
You're
we're scheduling a
yes.
public hearing tonight, so it'll
Well,
be
you
in the
started
paper.
tonight, this is our tentative, then
Right.
it goes to the next.
Right, that's for
Right.
the
But then you have
overdraft, for
to have
the
that
tax
public hearing
levy.
vote.
Anything.
But do we
Yes.
have to, as part of tonight's minutes, state that we're going to schedule the public hearing for the preliminary budget on October 28th? No, or is that all in part of that local No, they're just two separate things.
Yes.
Right,
That's why I
okay.
just wanted to make-
Yeah, so we still need to do that, right? Make a motion. Okay.
October 28th?
Yeah, we have enough time.
Okay.
Right. I think I checked with you
I'll
on
put
that.
it in, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so
We have already 3 of them.
some, we need a motion then to schedule the public hearing for the preliminary budget on October 28th.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. That's why we had this little meeting. I knew it. All right.
Keith, you'll send something over?
Well, I can do that.
I'm writing it down that you're gonna send it to me.
Okay.
so-
And then the preliminary budget, yep, okay. Notice of the hearing must be published and posted on the town's website and the clerk's signboard at least 5 days before the public hearing. Susan's really good about doing all of that. Following the public hearing, the board may amend the budget further at future meetings. No additional public hearings are required. And if the proposed levy exceeds the town's tax cap, the board must adopt a local law to override it. This requires a 60% vote, usually a simple majority, unless the board has 7 members. And let's see, we need to adopt the final budget by November 20th, or between November 20th and December 20th. But the board must adopt the final budget by November 20th, which won't be a problem. If no action is taken, the preliminary budget or the budget is last amended becomes the final budget by default.
Pocket budget, like the pocket veto. Sorry, so sleepy.
So time-wise, it's 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We need to at some point make the tentative into the preliminary, and then we can make no further changes. So can we do that without us, or do we have to have a special meeting to do that, Keith? Do we have to have a special meeting to say, okay, we're turning it into, or?
I don't know,
I don't think it's that.
off the top of my head, I don't wanna go
No,
there.
I think we do it right at the same time as the public hearing, don't we?
Yeah, we can.
You have a winter workshop.
Okay. Yeah, all right, we'll have the public hearing, well, then we'll present the budget, okay. Okay, I think we're good.
We can
So, I'm sorry, what have we decided there? Just asking for.
No, I know, actually, now, I think we need to, do we have to make, if between now and the first week, we have 2 weeks, now and in 1 week's time, we should turn the tentative into a preliminary. And then we should we have to make it available to the public before the public hearing, correct? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so that would be the week before the public hearing is when the preliminary should be made available.
Yes, because it's there and the public can now view it
Yes.
to their heart's content.
Right, but it should be made available not just that night, it should be available ahead of the public hearing.
Correct.
We can do it
Correct.
tomorrow.
We can do that, right? So it's a question of, we can either do A, turn the tentative into a preliminary right now and do nothing to it between now and 2 weeks for the public hearing, or we can wait to get Laura's answers to my questions.
Let's do that.
Let's do that.
Yes, please.
All right, we'll give it a week. By the Monday of next week, we'll have we'll turn the tentative into the preliminary. It'll be on the counter. If we need to do that by a quick special meeting, we can do that, just to make a motion to turn the tentative into the preliminary. We'll let you know that it's available, and then we'll wait for the public hearing. Sound like a plan?
Which you want
That's but that.
at the next,
Does that seem right?
at the next October meeting?
28th.
Yes, okay, that'll be 4 hearings.
Okay.
Okay, it's fine.
What?
That'll be LL8,
Buttercup.
not Richard,
Keith.
Keith.
She's got jet lag still.
No, I'm good, I'm good. Okay, yeah, LL8. 10,
All right.
not yet.
Okay, I think that's it. Any other comments or anything to let our audience know? We're good for right now? All right. We're trying really hard, you guys. It's a very unusual, complicated year. It's,
So much going on.
it's,
All right.
yeah. Okay. Thank you for your patience. We need to motion adjourn.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye.
Yeah.
Motion carries. Thank you, everyone.
7:07.
Ooh, where'd he come from?